non-stop action that hits the mark.
A sniper is a one-shot kill, man.
Don't miss the battle of the best on Top Sniper.
150 yards is your target.
And a special two-part premiere event of Modern Sniper.
The technological advances have really increased the effectiveness of the sniper.
Take that one shot, make that one kill.
Sniper Month, Thursday starting at 8, only on the Military Channel. At the height of the Cold War, one of NATO's main concerns was countering a massive Eastern Bloc tank force rolling across Eastern Europe. It had been determined that an attack helicopter, properly armed, could also be used as a tank killer. In August of 1972, the U.S. Army requested designs for a new, highly maneuverable, heavily armed frontline helicopter that could be used during nighttime operations. Hughes Helicopters Model 77 was selected for production as the AH-64 in December 1974. The first two prototypes flew in the autumn of 1975. The military named the helicopter the prototype Apache in 1981, and even before the Army received a production model, Hughes Helicopter won the prestigious Collier Trophy for the Apache's weapons systems in 1983. The Army began its first production of the Apache in 1984. The influence of the Cold War was still evident in its design. The helicopter emerged as a tank killer, suited for a potential European ground war. The AH-64 Apache has four-bladed main and tail rotors, powered by two GE T700 turboshaft engines. The diameter of the main rotor is 48 feet. It has a cruising speed of 145 miles per hour and can hit a top speed of 192 miles per hour. The 58-foot-long helicopter has a service ceiling of 20,500 feet. It has a maximum range of 380 miles. Hughes incorporated the latest targeting and night vision systems and armed the Apache to the teeth. The helicopter has a Hughes 30mm automatic cannon in the under-fuselage turret. 4 hardpoints under the stub wings carry 16 Hellfire missiles or 76 70mm folding fin rockets, or combinations of the two. The Hellfire anti-tank missiles have a range of more than 3.7 miles and can penetrate the armor of any known battle tank. Later models were outfitted with anti-radar and Sidewinder air-to-air missiles. However, despite its massive ammunition load, precision targeting, and a maximum speed of up to 192 miles per hour, the $14 million price tag caused controversy with some federal lawmakers. But then came Desert Storm. In 1990, Iraqi troops invaded Kuwait. Saddam Hussein declared Kuwait the 19th province of Iraq. President George H.W. Bush, with the approval from the United Nations, initiated Operation Desert Shield to protect Saudi Arabia from further Iraqi aggression. Saddam Hussein failed to comply with the United Nations ultimatum to withdraw from Kuwait, and President Bush launched Operation Desert Storm, and the ground war began. An American Apache opened Desert Storm when it destroyed Iraqi radar sites with Hellfire missiles to clear the way for Allied aircraft. But it was Iraqi tanks and troops that really felt the deadly power of the Apache. 15 Allied battalions were equipped with 288 Apache helicopters. The advanced laser, infrared guidance, and tracking systems of the Apache allowed it to operate virtually any time, anywhere. But the helicopter had been built with the European theater in mind, and its operators have been trained to fly low, skirting around hills, and then emerging from cover to fire. This tactic was not an option in the flat, dusty deserts of the Gulf. Allied forces spent the weeks and months prior to the war developing new tactics, lining 6 helicopters shoulder to shoulder in 3 teams of 2, each helicopter separated by 1,500 to 3,000 feet. The Apaches came in low, just 30 feet off the ground, sweeping in quickly in an attempt to surprise the enemy. The tactics worked. Apaches were credited with the destruction of more than 500 tanks and hundreds of additional armored personnel carriers, trucks, and other vehicles. The helicopters proved reliable as well, with readiness rates in excess of 85%. And just as the Apache had fired some of the first shots of the war, it played a key role in the final action, devastating the retreating Republican Guard along the Euphrates Valley. Apaches destroyed 32 tanks and more than 100 vehicles in little more than an hour. Hailed as a devastating force in the Gulf, the Apache had proved its worth. The original AH-64A Apache, now manufactured by McDonnell Douglas, which had bought Hughes helicopters in 1984, has been exported to an array of nations, including Egypt, Greece, Israel, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. After the Gulf War, the Army contracted to upgrade the engines of its AH-64A models, but it also had set its sights on the upgraded version of the Apache, the AH-64D Longbow. Following the success of the Apache during the first Gulf War, the United States Army called for a series of modifications to the aircraft. Through extensive research, key improvements were determined, and a sophisticated modernization program was initiated. This plan involves taking active A models off the line, reconfiguring the aircraft, and returning it to the fleet as a D model Longbow Apache. The Army's Apache fleet now consists of both A models and the D models. The plan to remanufacture the entire Apache fleet is scheduled to take 10 years.
This aircraft was a flying A model at one of the Army units out in the field. When we went out and inspected the airframe and brought it to Mesa, Arizona, it came in, it was received on the line at an induction point, it got disassembled at 946 total part numbers, which relates to about 1,250 individual smaller assemblies, which goes up for a total of about 2,500 total parts are removed off the airframe. The airframe you see right here has been disassembled further than it was when we received it as an A model Apache, brand new A model. After we do it on the remanufactured, the disassembly, parts like this main landing gear strut will be reused and put on the D model. This same strut, it'll get cleaned up, put back on and go. Reduces the amount of money the Army spends on being able to receive a D model Apache that's affordable to the taxpayer. The total number of D models right now that the Army is going to remanufacture is 501. That's what's on contract to be remanufactured, is 501, by a total of 700 plus A models that are flying